Hello, this is Thomas Kent Kruger, Biological Channel. It's midnight here in Texas. Beautiful day. Got up to 78 degrees today on the 30th of November, which is normal. And right now it's still, I have a jacket and I'm well layered up because it's a frosty 68 degrees right now because it's midnight. First, I want to say hey to 305 and Bruno and my most loyal and most educated viewers. The rest of you are a bunch of retarded homos. Fuck you. All you do is watch to leave blank messages. You know, it's kind of a rule in the South or the West, this is the West, that mothers give their children, although my mother only gave one of my sisters the 3-syllable name. I'm Thomas Kent. By the time I was 3 years old, I'd already shortened it to just Kent, and by the time I was 4, I was in the library and had researched every variation on the word Ken, Kenneth, Kent, reconnaissance, recon, conning tower. Knew exactly what it meant. The reason I'm taking, please, I'm about half blasted right now. Been watching, didn't get up till about 6:30 something this evening. And yeah, that's a candle over there. This is Shabbat. And it's only about 40 hours till Hanukkah, which is a great victory for my people. The point I was making was that it's standard in the South and the West, actually in England and other places, to give your child these 3-syllable names, which I just mentioned that by the time I was 3, I'd already shortened it from Thomas Kent to just Kent. I love short names. I get along with like Korean doctors like crazy because they just go by like Dr. Lee. And I want to repeat something I've said before. Pardon me. It is Shabbat. I am required to do this. Yeah. Okay. I love the way I live. I'm a total bachelor. Okay. When I was born, I was 9 pounds, 6 ounces, about, as I remember from the documentation, 29 inches long. I was long, slendered, with a giant brain, which you fuckers don't have because you're devolving rapidly. The most recent figures say that you've already, in my lifetime, dropped another 200 cc's in brain and cranial capacity. Every day, your ability to do what I do diminishes. You may be able to do one thing great, like Keira Knightley, has like 1,000 cc brain, but you're never going to match me. So let me get on with what I want to say, which is that by the time I was 4, my mother, out of 8 children, selected me to be the keeper of the oral tradition in my family. And that requires patience. And when my mother would repeat a story, not saying, "Mom, you already said that." I didn't say that. I was a good kid. Everybody always said that the Kruger kids were good, and everybody who ever known me, all the adults, always said that I was the good kid. later in life, I did a lot of things that some of you people think are bad, but they were bad people. Fuck them. They deserve what they got. So, my mom, Nora, actually, by the time I was 4 years old, I had taught myself. Nobody taught me. I just watched, observed, and figured it out. My dad was really good. My dad, often in the evenings when he had time, he'd set the dinner table and he would draw up these schematics and he'd draw up material lists and do some simple math. And my dad dropped out of school in 1913 when he was 8 years old because he knew the rest of the knowledge was out there in the fields and the factories and beyond. He knows schools didn't have shit for him. Once you learn how to do reading, writing, and arithmetic, it's like Sir Michael Faraday. Lately, I've been dealing with all these freaking retards. I was recently on a Einstein documentary in which everybody was either cutting Einstein down or saying what a great man he was. No, Einstein was a delusional, babbling idiot for 35 to 40 years of the last part of his life. He was trapped in the delusion of reductionism. Now back to my point. By age 4, my mother realized that I had the best memory and the best patience of all her children, the last of 8. As a woman grows older, those female parts get bigger to allow for the passage of the largest brain. Actually, studies proved 50 years ago, that usually the last born is the most intelligent. And they attributed to, the siblings in between teach the younger child. No, not in my case. And I'm proof of the fact that, no, if you're the last born, where you can bring out a big old head, and actually I'm 11-month baby. I'm not a 9-month baby like you fucking retards. A lot of you retards are only 7 or 8-month babies. I'm an 11-month baby. My mother was in no hurry to end her final pregnancy. So, those extra 2 months my mother gave me allowed my brain to develop to a point that I exceeded and excelled above every child born in 1954. My mother chose me to tell me the stories of my family she always understated. Like my great-grandfather, I'll go into this later. I'm going to cover a lot of more topics, but one of the reasons I'm here is to tell you that the big stuff is coming up. So please like, subscribe, and stick around because I'm going to tell you a story that you've never heard before. And I don't expect you to believe it. Who would? I don't believe, such stories. So, by age 4, my mother, Nora, who had as great a memory as my father, but my father didn't waste time trying to prove to people that my father actually loved to pretend that he was just a dumb, ignorant hick. Ignorant, you know what I'm saying? Love you, Dad. But I'm Kent Kruger, the son of Wayne and Nora. I carry the oral traditions which have been proven by many tens of thousands of dollars of professional genealogists that we were Jews, we were extraordinary people, we come from an extraordinary family group that has been major players on the world stage for 1,000 years. So, I used to test perfect and memory. I'm beginning to lose that now, and thank God, because if I am to go on, I must compress and lose some of the old memories. Like recently, I've been cogitating over the fact that I can do certain things now, stoichiometry, yada yada, but I can't explain it to other people now. I just do it. I just, that's the way it is. So, please, I'm 64, not that far from my 65th, 6 months. But I'm here to remind you, I'm going to keep this short, I'm going to cut it short of 15 minutes, that in my family and in the history of humanity, damn few people have ever tested with the memory that I have. I'm going to share some of my memories with you. And that's one of the reasons that my mother chose me, because of my patience and because of my good character, to carry the family oral traditions, in which I come from actually a very super wealthy family, high achieving family, for over 1,000 years that we know of. So hang around, come back, please subscribe and like. I know many of you you won't listen to somebody unless there's some jerk in the Bronx who's turned his his 500 square foot apartment into a studio, and he will get on camera with a suit and tie. You're not going to catch that with me. One of the reasons that 305 likes my presentations and watch them at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning is because he knows I'm being totally natural. I'm dressed the way I would be dressed at this hour, and I'm not going to dress up for you. I'm not going to use special lighting. I'm not going to build a set behind me. You can see what's behind me. That's a Faraday cage, which keeps me ahead of Google and all the rest of them motherfuckers that's trying to spy on me. This is a Faraday cage. I know exactly to where I am transmitting, 12 miles away to one horn on 500-foot towers trying to shoot over this hill. I am no fool. Please, stick around, and I guarantee you, maybe not today or tomorrow or even next week, I'm going to launch into a long series on science and physics and things that you want to hear about. And it's all real. That's the real thing about it. Many witnesses going back to the 1800s, including my mother. So, just stick around. Now's the time to finally subscribe to my channel. I don't want your fucking money. I have a PayPal account. I really hate these bastards get up here and beg for money on Patreon, PayPal, etc., because they're trying to make money off of this medium. I'm not. I don't need your fucking money. They're drilling so many oil wells around me, all are headed toward me, that will just finally add to the wealth of my life. And the wealth of my life has not just been genius, it's been money, it's been women, it's been everything. I've had an awesome life. Please tune in, like, subscribe, and come back, okay?